Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist game happening every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. Except for those days in which it doesn't happen, such as last week. But that happens. Every once in a while things get in the way. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, we were down in Anna. This week we were down at Bevyn. And last week we were down an entire party and a DM. So, but we're back this week, and that is what matters. So we are going to get going here in just a few minutes. I just want to remind you, that, you can click on the little heart icon up at the top here on Twitch to follow the channel and be alerted whenever we go live with our multiple live stream games that we do throughout the weeks, as well as you can, if you desire, subscribe and get access to some cool emotes. And if you have an Amazon Prime account and you link it to your Twitch Prime account, you can subscribe to one channel every month for free, and that subscription still benefits the channel. So we greatly appreciate that. Just considering that. And speaking of subscriptions, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. There is I think I got that right. I must have typed it wrong because it didn't show up. We are running a giveaway. If I can spell giveaway correctly. There it goes. In the chat on Twitch is a link to the giveaway to win one of 3 Game Masters bundles, each one including a 5th edition starter set, a set of minis that go along with the pre-gens in the starter set, 6 sets of dice in addition to the one that comes in the starter set, so you get 7 sets of dice total, and one grand prize winner will receive all of that plus a player's handbook, a monster manual, a dungeon master's guide, and a dungeon master's screen. So you have everything you need to gather your friends and get started on your own Dungeons and Dragons game. So yeah, check that out. At any time during our game, you can type in the name of a player or their character, and you can learn all about them using chat commands here on Twitch. So I think that's all I'm going to do for announcements. The rest of it, domain dice is explained down below. In the scroll, or you can type in domain dice and see how those work. We currently have 8 domain dice available to us. We get those through bits or donations, as it says in the scroll down below. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our dungeon master for this campaign, Mr. Mike the Piper.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this session number 15 of All That Glitters. I'm really happy to be here, and as always, I'm also happy to be hosting these awesome players, except for Bevyn, because, you know, he's sick and stuff. But that's okay, because we're going to carry on without him. Hopefully he won't die, but I make no promises. Oh well. Not sure. I'm not sure if it had been mentioned, but you know, right below here are the domain dice. If you keep giving them domain dice, they're going to keep making this a bit easier. So stop it. Don't. Okay, you guys, come on. You know, I'm trying to make this a challenge for them, and they're using domain dice like it's like flumph candy, and they're just stomping all over my baddies. So no, but you should totally help them out, because it's only going to get worse from here.
Flumph candy?
You never had flumph candy? It's like,
I mean, yeah, totally.
Like cotton candy with like Twizzlers sticking out of it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not made from actual flumps. I mean, come on, what sort of a monster? That'd be terrible.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Exactly.
The save the flumps.
Exactly. If any of you are able to, or if you want to, does anyone want to do a recap from last session?
I do believe that 6 was the last one to do a recap.
You were really quick to jump on that one, aren't you?
And technically,
Anna?
Megan wasn't here last time.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If Megan does do the recap, I'll give you 2 points of inspiration. If you can, you're like, not exactly. How about you, V?
All right. Nutshell of it basically was Kiara finally managed to get over to the Grunhund. Grolhund? I always forget how to pronounce it. Grunhald? The state.
Roland, yeah.
Grolhund, thank you. And in terms of going in, there was a whole bunch of servants going out. At that point, we managed to get the band back together. So Anna and Kiara met up first, and then we went into one of the rooms where we had Six and Bevyn fighting some Zentarum who did a little damage to them, but they seem to have recuperated nicely. And when we all got back into the same room together, there were issues of there still being some Zents as well as guards to the family's home. There was the big guy in the black armor and the limp who basically got Six in a room and knocked him down for the count, literally. And we had Anna and Bevyn and Kiara trying to fight their way over to him. Lady Girlhund came in. What's going on? At that point, Kiara had gone all wing glowing-eyed mode and kind of sent her along her merry way, saying, "Oh, we're here to help you because, you know, these bad dudes, the Zents, are there doing damage and everything." And then it was a matter of, that guy I always want to call Blunderbust, the detective dude. But I know it's not Blunderbust. I don't know why that name sticks with me.
Burglecut.
What was that? Blastwind?
That's it.
There we go. Blastwind.
I said Burglecut.
All right, so Blastwind comes in at the very end, and I think we might be in trouble.
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. We'll have
We
to
shall
see.
see.
We shall see. And that was good. You know what? Give yourself 1 point of inspiration because that was awesome. I know you weren't like super keen on doing it, but you know what? You did great.
Oh, well, thank you. It's like so long ago. I'm like, and I didn't take notes as well as I normally do because it was like boom, boom, boom. So I was like, oh crap.
It was, yeah. All right. Well, if there's no further questions, let's dive right in to session 15 of All That Glitters. Barnabas stands before you with his right hand, Sergeant Saith Cromley. All around you, there are at least 24 veterans providing aid to some of the wounded guards, kind of grabbing, like looking at these individuals in black armor. Barnabas looks at the 6 of you as right beside you, Kiara, stands Lady Yara Gralhund. He kind of waves over for a moment and asks, so it appears that I must be a little bit confused, but what exactly is going on here? Does anyone wish to tell me exactly what is going on?
I'm still in the air, aren't I?
No, you're not. No, you're
not. Okay.
Yeah, you
Right.
reverted.
So I'm back down on the ground again. Well, it was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. I came here with one of their servants, and whilst we were coming in, the rest were running out in an absolute panic, and it looked as though the house was under attack by those fellows. And she's going to point to the dead Zentarum on the ground.
I see. And he kind of looks up at Lady Gralhund. Lady Gralhund, is there any information that you can provide as well? Lady Gralhund kind of adjusts her breastplate, Inspector Blastwind, I would be more than happy to give you a full account of what happened. However, there is just one small matter that I do need to speak about. I need to speak with this one. She points right at you, Kiara. Alone. And Inspector Blastwind kind of, I don't exactly think that this is not exactly the kind we're not supposed to do this. Lady Gralhand, I just do need everyone. No. And she kind of she puts her foot down and is very, these individuals came onto my property. I need to speak to this one alone, and then I shall give you a full statement. And she just stares right at you, Kiara.
I'm perfectly fine with that, my lady.
Good. And she turns around and walks straight into the master bedroom, her bodyguard silently in tow. Come then.
Oh, I'm already following behind her.
All right. Her large half-orc bodyguard kind of closes the door. And Barnabas turns to you, Six. Well, is there anything you can corroborate with this?
I imagine at this point I'm quite bloody from wounds sustained. Having been healed, there's still a lot of blood. And my weapons, my rapier and my scimitar, are lying on the ground. And I just kind of look at them, kind of reluctant to pick them up in front of the guard. It is well, it is what Kiara said. There was a commotion, there was investigation, and there was altercation. Some of us fared better than others, although perhaps I should not say us, for I did not fare so well. I was overwhelmed and attacked by murderers.
So let me get this straight. What you're telling me is that the group of you, and he points to the other three of you, was simply going for what? An evening stroll, and then you happen to hear the sounds of fighting. Doors just happen to be open, and you just happen to have wandered in, dispatched, what, 4, 5 of these, and he kind of just gives a very cursory glance over Zentarum. But you just managed to dispatch the Zentarum just simply for the good of Waterdeep. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Make me a deception check.
For the most part. Okay, let's see. Deception. Whatever would make you think that I would be deceiving you? 16.
Okay. Quick here. Is that so? And what about you, miss? He's staring right at you, Anna.
Anna's just smiling at him. What they said.
Same. Make me a deception check. Inside the master bedroom, you see a large 4-poster bed. The symbol of the House of Gralhund, a serpent kind of moving around a large gem. A kind of a motto underneath, but it's written it's written in Old Common. Lady Gralhun kind of points to a divan and has you, has you sit rather than asks you. You can tell that Lady Gralhun, like many nobles, aren't really used to asking people that aren't of their same social status.
I'd be completely familiar with it, so just do without even thinking or questioning.
And rather than sit with you or sit in a chair, she stands, which is a little bit, that's not exactly usually how things go, but and at once her very kind of, I don't know, angry sort of and aggressive demeanor kind of just ebbs for a little bit. Before we get to the whole you coming onto my property unannounced, I'm very curious as to, well, first let's small talk, right? Small talk. Commoners love small talk. What god do you serve? I'm very, very interested in what had happened, especially the floor with you in full whatever it was I saw.
Quite frankly, that's something new to me as well. But it's the Lady Timora who is my god and my protector, so to speak, and she's been a friend and companion throughout my entire life.
Timora. Interesting, right? And did Timora mention anything, reason for you to be here?
I think it was more just a matter of luck of my arriving when the place was under attack, quite frankly. It was one of those things where one of your servants was at our tavern and he and I struck up a conversation. He was explaining an interesting thing that he wanted to show me, and at that point, everything was under control. I had thought it'd be interesting to go and see as well, and upon our arrival, before we were even really in the property, the rest of your servants were out running, and it was rather concerning.
I see. And you had no other reason for coming to Gralhund Villa?
No, outside of the fact that he, well, forgive me, but he said that there are some interesting, spooky things, and I do have a rather guilty pleasure of the supernatural. But that was really the only intention. He was going to just, give me a quick little tour of this one area outside, and then, honestly, I hadn't even expected to come into the home.
So neither you nor your friends came here beforehand for any reason?
To my knowledge, no.
I actually have to think about that for a moment. No, that's not true, actually. Make me a deception check on that one. I
didn't know they were going in. They were going to go and survey.
Okay, you know what? I will. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Though, she is going to make an insight check on that one. She looks at you and her eyes kind of narrow. I think there is more to this story than you're letting on. But I don't think we're going to come to any sort of agreement or understanding in that regard. I will, upon leaving, explain to Inspector Blastwind that is exactly as you said. However, I will be watching you and your precious little band. And thank you for giving me that information about Ike. It seems that we need to have a little chat about privacy. And she just kind of holds her arm out towards the door.
And I'll stand up and I'll do a quick little dip and walk back out.
And as you're walking back out, she kind of like does that 2 steps quicker and kind of puts her hand on the door, and she gets very, very, very close to you. Understand this. There are things, games in play. There are pieces. There are things that you do not understand. If you come around here again, Tamora will not save you. And I will make sport of you. Do you understand me? And she, like, again, she's like nose to nose almost.
I know exactly how things work with your group of people.
No, you don't. You know nothing, young one. And she kind of opens the door.
Well, I'm walking out.
She walks back with you, smile on her face, and says, Inspector Blastwind, it is exactly as these fine people had mentioned. I am just happy that they had come along when they did. If it had not been for their generosity and heroicism, it appears that we may have been lost. And so I thank you all for coming. And with all due respect, Inspector Blastwind, if you can kindly get all of these bodies out of my villa so I may put my children to bed and get everything back to some semblance of order. Inspector Blastwind kind of well, yes. Wonderful. And she kind of turns around and goes back into her bedroom and kind of slams the door shut. Right, well, don't leave Waterdeep. And he kind of points to each one of you. Have my eye on all of you. Yes. Well, if you'll follow me, we'll lead you outside. And he kind of like ushers behind you in that way to kind of like herd you all down the stairs and out of the building. Unless you have something else you want to say. Nope. Okay. I mean, you can hang out with, try and hang out. Maybe you guys want to like just chill, put on some music.
No, he doesn't exactly exude BFF.
Yeah. So as you walk out, Ike is standing there with all the servants, and he's trying to he's comforting a few. Some of them were really, really upset. A lot of them are still holding on to their like brooms and mops and rolling pins, more for comfort than anything. They all look very scared. But Ike seems to be doing a really good job of kind of comforting everyone and kind of just calming everyone down. As soon as he sees you all come out, he looks right at you. Oh, Mistress Kiara, you're all right then. I was.
Yes, I'm fine, but I will say this. If you can manage to get yourself another means of employment, the sooner the better. I worry about you here.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I get paid really well, and I mean the work's tough, but it's all right. haven't seen. Of course, I'm going to have to look up his name a little bit here. Have you? Oh, where is he? Where is he? Sorry. Herb, yeah. Haven't seen Herb around. Has anyone else? He's the groundskeeper. He's a crotchety old man, but he's all right.
She's gonna put her hand on his shoulder.
You need to be ready for the fact that there were bodies in there.
Hold on a minute. You say a crotchety old man by the name of Herb.
Yeah, he's the groundskeeper.
Does he have a couple of and I kind of shudder when I say it. Dogs?
He does, yeah. A couple of big mastiffs. What was it? Daisy and Princess. They look like mean dogs, but they're just they love to cuddle. They slobber a lot, though. They used to always slobber all over my bed.
Yeah, of course. When they are not turning into shadows and slithering around the grounds.
What?
I saw these Herb and these Daisy and these Princess, and I watched them melt into puddles of shadow.
Oh, come on. You're having me on.
I'll tell you what, and these others, they can attest to this. I like a good joke, but for the second time in the last few weeks, I nearly died. I am not very much in a joking mood right now. I don't know who it is that these Growlhounds are, but I'm getting the impression that you don't know who they are either.
Make me a persuasion check.
Let's see. That is. Yep. That. Out of the tray. Well, with an 8 on the die, that is a 15.
Okay. That's actually just enough, you lucky person.
I am very charismatic.
True. As you're talking to Ike, this kind of small woman wearing kind of a white apron definitely looks to be like stained with like cleaning elements, like how you get the like kind of bleach staining and other things.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that she's a launderer. Her hands are are just like dried out and chapped. And she's kind of wringing them, and she kind of very timidly kind of comes up to you. Did you say about something about weird goings on in Growlhound Manor?
Aye.
Aye, well, you wouldn't be far from the truth. They like to go out all hours of the evening, and sometimes they wear these strange red robes. Oh, and they look so mean as well. They're quite scary sometimes, and I know I'll be finding other places for work. You should too, Ike. And Ike looks down and kind of looks at the four of you, and maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Have you said they slip out at all times of the night in some kind of strange robes, and have you ever known them to be involved in business dealings or perhaps other illegitimate enterprises?
Well, it was a bit more when Lady Growlhound's brother was here. he would normally come in and out at all times, but he was a ship's captain, and he mostly sailed up and down the Sword Coast. But they said that one time his ship was lost at sea. I think pirates it was from up near Luskin. Well, Lady Growlhund was not happy after that. And then they started meeting up with those other nobles, not very nice people, the Castellantas. They started coming round, and well, they very quickly weren't so upset after that. Lady Growlhund and her husband. Oh, they had started to go out in all hours, and they started getting these red robes. I don't know, but if there's something going on, I'm sure the Castellantas have something to do with it.
How long have you worked for the Growlhounds?
Oh, well, I've worked for the Growlhounds for about 5 years now.
Is there anybody among your colleagues or the servants that you know that have been working for them for longer?
And her face kind of drops a bit. Well, the head maid and the head butler, they worked for the Growlhounds for about 18, 20 years. Unfortunately, they died. Murdered by those awful black-clad monsters. And those black-clad monsters, they were some slovenly pigs, always hanging around Growlhund Manor. We always had to clean up after them. It was terrible. And then they go and do this.
I know what you mean. They are not exactly the kind of people that you want to be hanging around with. As I give very pointed looks, quick but pointed glances at Bevyn and Anna.
Bevyn gives you the finger. The old archer salute.
Well, I do thank you for answering my questions. I know it is a difficult night, that you have seen friends and colleagues of yours, that in a way that you should never have had to see them. And as Kiara has said, I do hope that you will seek other employment, perhaps in a less than dangerous, for a less than dangerous family.
Thank you. And she kind of turns and kind of walks, and Ike gives the four of you kind of like that respectful nod of thanks. Maybe I'll come by sometime, let you know how things go. Hopefully I'll get a job somewhere. It's a city of splendors, right?
Well, I mean, it's all about who you know and who could use someone who's good taking care of people and making sure everyone stays happy.
True.
Maybe stop by the tavern tomorrow night.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Well, wish the four of you a good evening. And he kind of turns around and goes back to talking to some of the other servants.
Speaking of stopping by the tavern, perhaps we should all head back to home. It has been a very long night, and I, for one, could use a good, long sleep.
Agreed. Long day, long night.
What time is it about?
At this point, it's probably around 1:30, 2 a.m. It's late. It's late. The tavern would have been closed up as well. So
Anna has this goofy grin on her face as she follows you guys, starting on heading back to the tavern.
glad to see you're so happy considering you've been poisoned. But right on. All right, yeah. As you all kind of make your way back, it doesn't take very long. Same distance as it was when you had left. So like, all of 5 minutes. You head back up. Lights are on. As Lift kept the kind of home fires burning for you. Lamps are all flicked on and everything else. Guys just gonna crash out?
I'm going to follow Kiara to her room. Do you have a moment?
Yes, of course.
What did you and Madam or Lady Growlhund, what did she say to you?
Well, in the way these lovely nobles like to do, she made it very clear that we are to stay out of her business. And in return of doing so, she would make sure that we wouldn't get into any type of trouble for this evening, and that we are in over our heads far more than we realize. That about sums it up. Quite frankly, I told her my truth of the story, of what I knew.
So she let us go to not cause trouble for us, but also to not cause trouble for her.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Oh, especially since she's working with the Castle Lanterns.
What measure did you make of her?
She's a woman of many secrets who would probably do whatever she could to get what she wants.
I do not think we are done with this family. I know that I am not. And you might notice that I have that ring, that signet ring in my hand, and I'm just kind of rolling it through my fingers, almost like doing one of those coin tricks where you roll it across the back of your hand, but more with my fingertips as I just kind of flip it from one fingertip to the other without even really looking at it. There's more going on with that family that I am determined to figure out.
There's absolutely far more than I think than anyone would really know. But definitely be careful.
Make no promises. Good night.
Good night, Six. By the way, you have 7 left.
I am well aware. I am keeping count myself. As I look down at where I imagine maybe a little bit above and to the side of where the bullet hole is still in my armor, there is now a sword wound that rips through it as well. And before I go to bed, I will use some prestidigitation to clean the blood out of my armor and clothing. And I will lie in my bed, kind of just turning that ring back and forth so that the gemstone and the serpent are catching the firelight as I just stare at it and eventually drift off to sleep.
And halfway through, or halfway between that last moments of being awake and being utterly asleep, your mind goes back, holding this signet ring, remembering that one half elf staggering through the tavern. This individual walking without a care, and suddenly, with a spray, his head coming clean off his shoulders and gripped in a bloodied hand, bloodied fist, this very ring, the black blood of the drow clenched in between his fist, the layers of skin underneath his fingernails. You remember that ring as it becomes one step closer to finding out what happened. Anna, what are you doing before sleep takes you?
Anna is going to take those bars out of her pack and get the other half that she had given to Bevyn. And she is going to stack them on this little probably rickety table that she has up in the attic.
Actually, all the furniture is actually fairly well made. Liff kind of ensured that he got like good quality stuff, but even that, the weight of these like trade bars, which are, and they're nice because they're actually like kind of shaped like fans, and they have a hole punched, not a hole to put a shim or something like that into it, but just like a hole generally that someone would carry like a large brass ring of these trade bars so they can easily just kind of unhook one, slip one off, and to quickly pay for goods. Merchants have valued Waterdeep trade bars, and most of the Sword Coast has used it for currency. And you just happen to find these ones that are just kind of on their own, perhaps for a quick getaway.
So I think would be, despite, what happened, and it didn't go perfectly, but to her, it went as well as can be expected, in that they didn't get arrested. So she kind of makes up her mind that tomorrow, if she still is feeling the effects, that she would go and visit Nisma at the temple, but she closes her eyes in the view of these trade bars. And
as the lanterns kind of begin to kind of wink out in your room, Liff is kind of putting them out for you so you can get a good night's sleep. As the last lantern kind of goes out, the glint in the kind of reflection off of these beautiful trade bars, you do see a completely black-clad figure with mask, kind of reflecting off in there, kind of bowing to you before the last one goes out, and sleep begins to overtake you. Morning comes very quickly, because, hey, you went to bed at 2 a.m. So I imagine that each one of you would wake up in your own time. And you basically have the day. There's nothing pressing at the exact moment, but you do have some things that you need to kind of sort out. So as the four of you wake up, Bevyn gets up first because I'm in control. I'm the Bevyn now. He rushes downstairs, and kind of gets some stuff cooking up for breakfast. Nothing super fancy, but he does cook up something kind of halfway decent. Brings it up, kind of a display of breads and then some raw vegetables and some fruits and just a nice healthy spread of stuff. And he's just kind of dawdling around, kind of getting things going. So I guess, whenever you guys wake up, you guys can just make your way down and
Anna would wake up and she would bring down these tray bars and she would set them beside the meal and just wait there as nonchalantly as possible, sitting, eating some food, waiting for Kiara and Six.
It's a hell of a centerpiece.
Kiara probably would be taking a little bit longer to wake up that morning, and before going downstairs, go up into the little turret area where she keeps things going back and forth with Liff and bringing him books as he's requesting, and just write a little note to him, basically saying, "There's more to meet the eye. There's more to meet the eye, isn't there?" And just writes C and G with a question mark.
Okay. And as you as you finish writing it down, you kind of like set it on there. A gust of wind kind of blows the kind of books and and fans the books open, several books, and dust motes kind of swirling up around. But you don't quite get an answer yet. So he just
I'll kind of shrug my shoulders, knowing that he doesn't always answer right away, and head back downstairs to see what everyone else is up to.
All right. What about you, Six? What you doing?
I think Six sleeps longer than everybody else. Well into the morning, probably not even coming down until lunchtime.
So basically typical cat stuff.
Yeah, with the addition of the fact that he almost died again. So yeah, I'm sleeping until probably close to noon, and then we'll dress and head down to the Nobody's Inn for some lunch and to see if anybody else is around.
Okay. Would you two still be kind of there waiting for Six to wake up, or?
I think in the absence of Six, after a bit of just small talk, Anna would that mask that I showed you last time, the one that
adhered to your face?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, something happened at the Growhunt. Someone came to visit me and talk. Well, scared the shite right out of me. I thought that he was going to right kill me, but...
Is this one of the servants, you mean?
No. No, wasn't. He stole my knife, and he told me that I needed to show him how good of a thief I was. And that mask reappeared on my face.
Did it now?
And, you're into God stuff.
That's a safe way to put it, yes.
Right. So, and God stuff and magics and all that. I'm not saying it's a God thing, because that would just be crazy, but magical for sure. Right.
You want to know how I speak with Tamora, then?
Well, I just want to know what is on my face, more so.
Can't say as I blame you. I personally don't have the expertise in this, but maybe we might be able to go over to Tamora's temple and see if someone might be able to guide us to a more appropriate temple for your potential divinely inclined companion last night.
Right. Well, I just hope that it's not another dead guy chasing me around, because I already have to deal enough with Liv, and he thankfully stays here, but I don't think that's it.
Doesn't sound it.
No.
Was it almost like speaking to another person standing right there who just sort of crept up upon you?
Right, yeah. And that's I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am, because
You're talented.
my horn. I guess I wouldn't have horns. Tooting my own bell. Ringing my own bell.
Ring my bell.
Yeah. But, it's odd to sneak up on me.
It is.
And take my knife.
Even more so.
And he just did it.
Did he seem to know a little bit more about you than you thought he should or ought?
Right. Exactly. See, I knew you'd get it.
I'm more than happy to go back over to the temple and see if there's someone who might be able to help us out. I mean, let's face it, Timora isn't exactly a stranger to the more fleet of fingers types.
Right, that would be great.
If it makes you feel better, I'm more than happy to do it.
Yeah, temples, they freak me out a little bit.
Just don't climb the walls.
No, I'm not an idiot. Oh, sorry, I meant 6.
All right. But listen, if we're going to go and speak to someone, you are going to need to control your witty banter a little bit.
Right.
That part I know is a little bit more tricky for you, but to grease the wheels and something that I have a feeling is going to be rather sensitive information, better to play the part of a courteous type as opposed to a, well, your lovely self. Well,
That's kind of why I got Bevyn. He does the talking for me anyway, so I figure when it comes to this, you can do that, right?
Of course.
As one does. So would the two of you be heading right for the Tower of Luck then, right away? Or are you going to wait for 6 to wake up? I mean, he hasn't climbed that temple yet, so
Yeah, have we addressed the whole golden bars loveliness on the table?
Anna's waiting for you to notice.
So at this point, Kiara's going to be like, and speaking of your lovely self, I see you're at it again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not. And I have absolutely no idea what these are or where you got them from, but I will say, make sure they're not found.
Right. It's a donation, if you will, to the tavern.
So be it. But for now, put them where they can't be found. Don't tell me where you've put them at this point.
Right. I'm just going to wait for 6. I just want to... I want to gloat. I'm sorry. I do.
That's fair. I could...
I will say that these trade bars are not minted to a specific person. It would be like if Anna stole a gold dragon off of you, she could just go to the other side of town and spend that gold dragon, and no one would be any the wiser. It's the same thing with trade bars in that it can't be considered like, now if it was art or if it was jewelry or if it was a signet ring or if it was something that like, hey, someone could probably trace this, then it's like, not so much. So like the paintings, for example, they were, they were given, like those were obviously for someone, and they were stolen. So that needed to be fenced. These, I mean, someone might be like, wow, who came in and spent, 750 gold worth of drinks and paid you in trade bars? Sweet. Weird, but whatever.
That was a bachelor party.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It was a hen do.
Yo.
Maybe we need some sort of somewhere to keep our money, somewhere safe.
You mean like a bank or getting a safe for here?
Here. Yeah, something for here.
Maybe, and that was also brought up with the lords and ladies about this whole thing they wanted to do here. Yes, maybe we should, on our way about, see if we can find someone to commission for a safe, although forewarning, we might have to use some of your newfound wealth.
Investing into more newfound wealth. I like the sound of that.
You're learning.
Right. I usually don't have enough money, I can't spend it fast enough. So now to have this, it's weird.
Just be careful. Money makes things easier, but it doesn't bring you happiness.
I know that all too well, but right then.
Should I go find 6 for you and play a little cat and mouse?
She just lets out this laugh.
Cat and bird might be more appropriate, all things considered.
Right, yeah.
All right, you wait here. I'll see if I can tempt him. So at this point, where would 6 be? Is he in the tavern area, or?
I guess it depends on how much time has passed. I would eventually make my way down to the tavern.
All right, Kiara would go down to the tavern then and find 6.
Oh, you guys weren't in the tavern?
No, we were up in the common room.
Oh, I think I would have to pass through there to get down.
Unless you got that magic door installed yet.
No, actually, that was one of the things I wanted to do, was go talk to Merk, right? Merk. I can't remember his name.
You talking about Mert?
No, not Mert.
Not Mert's from the Harpers. Merkin.
Oh, Micken.
Micken.
Sorry, Merkin's something completely different.
Mickey.
There you
Micken.
go. Hey.
Yeah, Micken's our carpenter and works for the guild. So yeah, I do have, because I have that actually here on my map, where it says possible trapdoor to pantry. Yeah, so I guess. Actually, you know what? Yes, I would. Until that's there, that's the only way out. So I guess, yeah, I would be coming out into the common room from the hall.
Oh, well, speak of the devil. Did you get enough rest?
I feel like I could have, I could probably sleep for another day. But I've got things I've got to do. Anna, you have this very peculiar grin on your face. We call that a Cheshire grin.
I can kind of see where Kiara is sort of standing in front of the pile to sort of obscure it a little bit.
What? I don't like it when you look at me like that.
Look at you how.
We're just enjoying the day. Can't we do that?
We didn't wake up to an explosion. We're not under, well, we're still under suspicion, but at least we're not dealing with people in our home questioning us. Although you are questioning us.
All right, then. I'm going to go downstairs and get some food and some warm milk, some cold ale.
Oh, are you sure? There's some food right here Bevyn made for us.
And at that point, Kiara will step aside and just sort of casually take her seat again.
I'm going to see if I can... What would I roll, Mike, to see if I can hide my shock? Try to play it off that I'm not at all surprised by the gold bars. Would that be a performance or a...
I would say, yeah, I would say that would be a performance check.
So the gold bars are on the table, like in the middle of all the food. I rolled a 19, so I have a 26 on my performance.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to just grab a plate and just start loading it up, and maybe even as I move something, maybe move like a plate of bacon and set it on top of the gold bars, and then grab something else and then set it down and just go sit down and start eating, giving absolutely no notice to Anna that I have noticed these gold bars.
All right. You're a jerk, but all right.
I love that I've left Megan speechless. I love Six and Megan's dynamic.
So I think after a while, you would see Anna just begin to like tap her foot. She starts fidgeting, just looking at you. All right, you are either the stupidest person in all of Waterdeep, or you are just trying to cover up your jealousy.
Whatever could you be talking about, Anna? I am a perfectly innocent individual. Some would even say a golden boy.
You just can't accept the fact that I did a better job at being, well, me than you can.
Oh, please, Anna, do forgive me for not acknowledging your ability to steal large quantities of gold while I lay dying in a pool of my own blood.
I mean, a small gasp would be appreciated.
Is that all the bacon there is?
Gain
Very
one
well.
inspiration.
I'll take it. Very well, Anna. I am in absolute awe of your ability to procure such large quantities of gold. And truth be told, I am actually a little bit impressed. But, where did you get these? Did you get these last night?
Right, but get this, not where you would think. I got it from a couple of saddlebags. Someone was trying to have a fast getaway lined up.
Interesting.
I also found some sort of symbol underneath one of the beds. It's like a circle.
What kind of circle?
She's gonna just trace it in the air. whatever she saw. You said it was a circle of some kind.
Yeah, it was a circle, but it looked to be like profane. Like there were a lot of very like rigid geometric lines, like basically something like pretty much out of Hellraiser. And there were letters, or at least some type of wording that seemed. You've never seen that type of wording writing before.
Could do you want her to make some sort of like history check to see like how much of it she can remember?
Yeah, I'll say make, if you want, and I'll give you a choice. You can make a history check to remember kind of the circle, but you don't really remember the wording or anything. If you make it at disadvantage, you can remember the whole thing clearly. If you fail, you remember nothing.
Okay. All right. I'll gamble. I'll do it at disadvantage. That was 2 18s.
Nice.
So that is a 19.
Hey, you know what? That's enough. You're able to, in a mixture of leftover bacon grease and other such food things, very, very close encounters of the fifth kind. You're able to, that's a movie, by the way, which you'll have to watch at some point. You're able to make a reasonable and quite good facsimile of the circle. And Kiara, you see it, and as you're looking at the circle, it's kind of giving you not the willies, but you feel uncomfortable just looking at this circle. You probably wouldn't recognize the writing unless you made some kind of a check.
Yeah, let me
religion check would probably be
religion. Okay. 16.
That is infernal. It is the language of the nine hells. You've seen this style of writing before, and it's usually on some pretty profane stuff. It's discomforting to say the least. But the weird thing about the circle is that with this circle, it kind of seems to be a mixture of two things. It seems to be a mixture of like profane and like a devil's circle, but there's also excuse me, there's also a bit of like necromancy. There we go. Because I can't even think of there's a bit of necromancy attached to the circle. So it looks to be a combination of both devilry and arcane.
All right, seeing that, Kiara is going to quickly negate the circle, not taking any chances with it.
Dang. That's probably for the best.
That's definitely a concerning one for sure. Whatever they're doing in that house is not good, to put it mildly.
The lady Growlhound, she was all too eager to dismiss us. And along with us, also the inspector, I think was his name, Bagwind or Blusterwind or what is his name? Blastwind?
Yes, I believe that's right.
She did not want this inspector to be poking around. But I wonder if the Growlhounds, they hold a respect for the law, and if the inspector were to pay her a visit, if she would perhaps reveal something.
Quite frankly, I would think the answer to that one would be a hard no.
I'm just trying to think of a way to get back into that house.
If they weren't expecting us before, they certainly are now. And you can expect that they've doubled whatever it is that was protecting that place.
She's right, you know. It's not going to get any easier.
I'm just saying, there is a potential. Anna,
Right.
you specialize in getting into difficult places. I'm not saying let's go and break back into the very place that we almost got killed and caught in last night, but I would like to think of a way to utilize some of my special skills as an actor. There are things that I can do that could aid us if we can find just the right avenue of approach.
What, like you're gonna go around house to house selling treats or something? That was a joke.
And I'm going to do something, since Anna was so keen to mess with me. I'm going to stand up, and as she says this, I take my cloak, like cape thing. Do I have a cape? Do I have a cloak? I don't know. I always assumed I did.
Sure.
I always assumed I did. It's
Heck,
blue.
yeah.
My blue velvet. No, it's not that. But you know what? I don't think I did have a cape, because I want to have a cool cape later on. But I'll take one of the like linen napkins, and as she says this, I hold the napkin up to my face, obscuring it, and in the same motion, I pull it away, and it's like looking in a mirror. You see your own face looking back at you, and in your own voice I say, "You know what? I just might do that." As I cast Disguise Self on myself and use my keen acting abilities to perfectly mimic your voice.
You take
Curious.
that face off right
Kiara just
now.
starts
Oh, it's not
laughing.
just my
She
foot.
doesn't-
Before I punch it, and she like
It's not just my face. It's like my entire body. I look like you.
Don't
And then-
worry.
I stand, so I'm already standing up, and then I make a very exaggerated shh, and I take the napkin and I place it over all the gold bars, and very obviously pick up one of the gold bars with the napkin as I begin to tiptoe away.
As he does that, Kiara just gets a smirk on her face, and she casts Disguise Self on herself, and she turns into Six in the pretty princess dress.
I think at that, I think that Six, it would just be as if that was just the right thing that I needed to sort of break the tension of the night before, and just kind of collapse on the floor in a fit of laughter and It just seems like one of those moments where everybody's kind of poking fun at one another, and yeah, seeing myself in the princess dress. Yeah, and then I'll eventually drop the disguise of Anna.
Kiara is going to stay in pretty princess mode just for a little bit longer, just for fun. Do a couple of twirls.
That was so worth it to burn a first level spell.
Well, there you go.
I think even Anna, like, you would just, like, she would laugh just in spite of herself. Just you'd get a few chuckles.
And I do put the bar of gold back.
Just checking. And at that, we were going to take a break, just for a little bit. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight while we're playing this lovely game. God, I love this hobby. It's just so awesome. And when we come back, we're going to find out what these players are going to want to do now that well, I guess they don't really know what to do. But they do have a house to try and investigate, a noble house, I should say, to try and investigate. They have a nimble right to try and find. And, you know, they're only looking in the size of Waterdeep, you know, a city of around 2 million people. They'll find it, no problem. And, yeah, well, we'll figure out what happens when we come back. Right after these messages. Do we even have messages?
Yes, there will be.
Oh, there
are messages. We have messages.
Yep. We will be on a 10-minute break. There will be a countdown timer. And there is some advertisements, messages, and promos and such that happen. So please stick around and watch that. And we will be back.
Not for that damn slap chop thing. Like, I'm so tired of that guy.
Hold on a second while I remove that video.
Thank you.
I don't like that guy either.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Hey, Internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is The Intermission. Mini Terrain Domain, or MTD, is a channel dedicated to the love of and participation in the world of tabletop role-playing games. Whether we're designing encounters or miniature terrain, building worlds or dice towers, or just playing games, everything we do here is because we love this amazing hobby. That is why the mission statement of Mini Terrain Domain is simply imagine, build, play. If you like to watch live play or actual play D&D games, you can do so at twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain 3 days a week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays, you can join us for Cult of Personality, a long-running campaign set in the Tomb of Annihilation adventure setting. On Mondays, you can join us for All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign guaranteed to be epic proportions. And every Thursday night, you can join us for Dawnbringers, the Forge of Fury. This is a series of mini campaigns going across the gamut of several well-known modules. Season 1, which is available on youtube.com/Mini Terrain Domain, took place in the Sunless Citadel. And Season 2 is currently taking place in the Forge of Fury. If you can't join us in the chat for our live shows, that's okay. You can usually catch the roleplay, or rather the replay, on YouTube just 2 days later. If you're a fan of what we do here and you'd like to support what we do, there are a variety of ways you can do this. First, simply follow the Twitch channel or hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Next, make sure you follow all of the participants of each game or show on their various social media platforms. To do this, if you're watching live with us on Twitch, you can simply type an exclamation point and that person's name into the Twitch chat, or on YouTube, you can look down below the information bar and all of their links can be found there. Finally, If you would like to provide monetary support, which flows right back into the production of the channel, so we can continue making great content, you can join the growing list of patrons on Patreon. Additionally, you can also use Ko-Fi or coffee to buy a coffee or two. I like coffee. But the absolute best way to support the channel is to follow and subscribe on Twitch and YouTube and join us in the chat. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you link it to your Twitch account, you can subscribe to one channel per month absolutely free. No matter what you decide to do, we are just happy to have you here. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more great content in just a few moments. Remember, metadata!
Hi everyone, I'm V and I have the YouTube channel, The Crafting Muse. Please be sure to go over there and check it out if you too would like to learn how to make some tabletop terrain, paint miniatures, as well as some game accessories. I'm always happy to have new subscribers over there.
Learn the ways of the Game Master, the Dungeon Master, and delve into the minds of the players. If you're looking for adventure, excitement, thrills, and a dice-rolling good time, grab the modules each month and play the campaign with your gaming group with quest givers DM Scotty and DMG. They're taking you on an epic journey through the role-playing experience every Friday. You're sure to get hooked on adventure.
And we really liked the idea of creating adventures together, so we thought that'd be a lot of fun to share with you guys.
I didn't think this kind of stuff would come out of my brain. We are quest givers, and I'll see you in the next video.
Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is a collection of 4 adventures for the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. The adventures are setting neutral and meant to be seamlessly dropped into any world that has a large seaside city and a jungle environment. With a bit of adaptation, the environments could be changed to suit any group. In Treaty of the Tiger King by Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, a distant king arrives at the city to negotiate the peaceful end of a war, but the mercenary guild has other insidious plans for him. Will the players be able to thwart assassination attempts against King Rami and help him negotiate circles of social intrigue in order to finally end the war? In Madness of the Majestic Menagerie by Ken Brees of Burling's Beard, the famous Majestic Menagerie draws hordes of visitors to the metropolis and cultural hub known since time immemorial as Splendor by the Sea. But now the gates of the famous zoo have been shut, and the grand opening of the new section has been jeopardized by a spate of mysterious accidents and, it's whispered, grievous injuries due to uncontrollable creatures. Mr. Majestic seeks to hire investigators and troubleshooters who can keep a low profile to iron out any problems before the impending grand opening becomes a complete disaster. Do you have what it takes to uncover what's driving the madness that's befallen the Majestic Menagerie? In The Infernal Collection by Sharm Biswas, when an influential fashion designer is found dead days before a major fashion show, heroes are called in to solve the mystery, prevent any further destruction, and help the fashion house prepare for the show. Gorillas in Their Midst by Jacob W. Norman of Mini Terrain Domain is a pulp action adventure wrought with perilous challenges and a high possibility of death. But what is adventure without danger? Of course, there is the lure of vast piles of unclaimed treasure and the accompanying fame that await those intrepid adventurers who would defy the odds and plunge into the heart of darkness. In this adventure, the characters will face raging river rapids, wicked waterfalls, poisonous plants, venomous vines, sinking sands, treacherous traps, and the vicious jungle demon itself, Awakane Gori. Grab your satchels, fedoras, and bullwhips. Adventure awaits. The Adventure Mixtape also comes with 4 original songs inspired by and written for the heroic adventures herein. This collection of music and story is something unique. We had no better word for it than mixtape. If you ever received a cassette, CD, or digital playlist curated to take you on a memorable journey, then you'll recognize what you find inside this volume. Also included in the Adventure Mixtape, courtesy of Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, are exclusive combat cards. Special cards that contain all of the items, monsters, and spellcasters found within these adventures to make running your adventure all the more easier. Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is available exclusively on drivethrurpg.com.
Cryforth, once home to the most wondrous kingdom the world had ever known, blasted to nothing in just a fortnight. It is here that the fiends of hell walk among us. It is here where all things die. Welcome to Cryforth. Demon invaders roam the landscape and have conquered all. The world is a ravaged and wrathful wasteland where the old world lies buried beneath the blood and sand with its gods and its secrets. Water is fought over with blood and steel. Compatible with the 5th edition of the world's oldest fantasy role-playing game, this book contains all new character creation options, including all of the familiar classes with new aspects befitting the ravaged wastelands of Cryforth, along with new backgrounds, subclasses, spells, feats, and so much more. New races will allow you to play as the cursed Ash Elves, the Forsaken Humans, the Primordial Incarnate, the Proud Orcs, the Reptilian Suri, or the Infernal-Blooded Tieflings. New game mechanics such as blood, grit, and effort give your games an intense focus on lethality and survival. Numerous role tables full of ideas to help bring your games to life. Featuring incredible thematic art by Brandish Gilhelm of Runehammer Games, as well as Lloyd Collins. The people of Cryforth are not heroes. In Cryforth it is courage just to survive. Will you rise to face the tide of demons, or will you succumb to the hostile elements? Available now on drivethrurpg.com.
All right. Looks like we're back. Gosh, I love all of those ads. And to all of you watching at home, you should buy all of those products. So, with the ridiculousness of some very clever disguised selves, the whole day is now open toward you. What is it that you will be doing? At this point, it's probably around, let's make it around 12:30. It's around noon 30 kind of PM kind of thing.
Probably Anne and Kiara would be going first to get the safe thing taken care of, and then temple bound. And do we invite Six is the question.
Well,
As long as he promises not to climb on anything and get arrested.
I can make no such promises. But yeah, you need to what's this about a safe?
Well, if you remember, the nobles asked if we had a safe place to store the prize money. And seeing as to how we seem to come into a little bit more money each and every week, it may not be a bad idea to have something set up for ourselves.
Well, I was
All the donations.
I was hoping to talk to Mikin about installing that trap door that would allow us to gain quicker access to the tavern without having to walk through the front door. So perhaps we can talk to Mikin and make those arrangements, and
Maybe he might have a recommendation of a reputable safe smith.
I was looking through to see if there was any information on a... There's a guild for everything. I'm sure there's a Saphir's guild or something.
That sort of thing would be a very specialty item, and you could try to go to a like the Gems Guild, or perhaps you could try like the Jewelers Guild, or you might be able to look into a smith, or you could possibly even go to a shop and see if there is one available. One that might service what you help you guys out would probably be it's down the high road, just before Selduth Street. There's a place called Cameral's Coins, and there's a business. It's a business there, right near the City of the Dead. Well, right on the high road, actually. So,
I mean, I'm sure it's not all that unusual for a business to inquire about such a thing.
Especially one that takes in coin every single night from various people imbibing alcohol.
And experiencing the finest of entertainment that the district has to offer. Wink.
Yes, of course. Yes.
You know, it might do us a little bit of good to maybe lay off all this looking and searching for maybe a day. As much as I hate it, but we got that last one right on our trail.
Yes. Probably best to look like we're new entrepreneurs trying to get their business up and running and ready for important things to come.
Meantime, we can plan a little bit. I can't believe I'm saying that, but
I think we're all wearing off on each other at this point.
Planning sounds like a wonderful idea. I do need to work in our latest great battle into my next show. That's going to take considerable amount of planning and logistics. I may have to hire some extras to act as the Zentarum.
I'm just saying the money I get is not for your performances. That is my one rule.
And if you're going to put on performances, make sure the names have been changed to, well, whatever all that legal jargon is to protect the innocent, blah, 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 blah.
I'm offended, Kiara. You act as if this is my first time presenting a show.
No, I didn't say it was your first time presenting a show. I'm just saying, since we are under scrutiny, take all measures necessary.
You can trust me to have the utmost in discretion. All right, so shall we go see a builder and a safe maker?
That works. And then we can look into a luck maker, perhaps.
All right, as you guys kind of get up, gather your things, and you begin to head out, you can see now that Troll Skull Alley is a bit more full of life. And it probably would have been considerably less so had you have not had this kind of wake and brought people together in order to kind of keep that camaraderie of the alley kind of going. As you begin to head down Delzorn Street onto the high road, there's a lot of hustle and bustle. You see a lot of people are moving, and a lot of them are talking. Most conversations you overhear are speaking about the big plans tomorrow for the parade, and where's everyone gonna where are they going to be in the parade? They're so excited that Zardoz Zord himself is going to be leading the parade. Apparently, it's this year's theme is all the different areas of the Sword Coast, even so far as Chult. Some people are murmuring and whispering that Zardoz Zord had brought actual dinosaurs from Chult to march down the high road, and it's going to be very exciting, and everyone is really just pumped about it. And even through that, you hear criers and newspaper children crying out about the Black Viper strikes again. Noble houses pillaged, and it's followed up quickly with bloodbath at the Growlhund Villa, bloodbath. Zentarum caused massive bloodbath, terrible slaughter, many people dead. Read about it here. And even still other children are crying out, Zentarum being rounded up, Davil Starsong arrested. As people are, like a lot of people are pretty happy about it. You see a lot of people are buying like papers and stuff and reading them and nodding their heads to each other and talking about that too. You hear how most, or if not all that you can possibly think of, Zentarum are being like just rounded up and arrested and sent to the various guard towers. That's, that, and of course the Black Viper once again has stolen from some poor flunky.
Kiara would look to Anna.
Probably best to make sure you keep a low profile today, dear.
Right. Yeah.
Sticky fingers stay in pockets.
She would make a point of like putting her hands deeper into her pockets. Give Kiara a reassuring smile, although how reassuring it is.
It is Anna.
Yeah, that's probably not a terrible idea. The as you make your way down the high road, you can even begin to see like constables are beginning to kind of are with like some of the Temple of the Order of Magists and Protectors. They're going around and kind of they look to be putting up, like setting up sigils and small wards, getting ready to like kind of cordon off different streets and kind of moving like down the road. As you continue to walk, carts and everything else are kind of getting like going down the ways. There's like lines painted on the streets themselves with arrows, like these kind of like large black arrows, and it's written. Most of them are spelled correctly, but some of them aren't. That says parade route going down that way. And you get the idea that it will start pretty much at the upper towers of the north, right by the field ward, and head all the way down, taking the high road straight down to the southern gate, where that's usually the way the parade ends. And then generally, as some of you who have lived here would know, that the the creatures and the floats and everything else generally goes back up the way of the dragon, and then straight around through onto the dock ward where Zardoz Zord usually has his 3 ships to go back on. But as you make your way down, everything's tickety-boo. You pass several places that you've been before. As you make your way down, you do stop by Selduth Street, and you see what looks to be a balanced set of scales with like a bunch of coins on either side, and it says Cameral's coins.
Well, that seems to be the place. Shall we see if they have what we need?
Indeed.
And as you walk in, you see a very clean shop. The floors, surprisingly, are of beautiful dark wood, which is very, very rare, as most dark wood is made for furniture and never to walk on. But here you see like beautiful stained dark wood, lovely oak counters with glass, kind of like glass.
You muted out, Mike.
Well, I'll be darned. Funny thing, I accidentally hit the hard mute on my microphone because I talk with my hands, because aren't I foolish? Yeah, maybe that's the Italian in me. I don't know. Anyway, the dark wood flooring is just stunning. Like, just the whole place looks like extremely high class, which makes sense because you are passing an area of the high road that is right at the castle ward, the like much more wealthier area of Waterdeep. As you open the door and walk in, instead of like the standard bells or anything, you just hear this kind of like, it almost sounds like lute music, just to announce your presence, just like a couple of bars of lute music as you walk in. And from the back, you hear, "I will be with you in a moment." And walking out, you see a tabaxi, rather tall, kind of a short hair tabaxi, but kind of like a lynx point with the kind of gray with the little flecked black. He looks at the three of you. Bevyn somehow disappeared. It was like magic or something. And he kind of interlocks his hands and then kind of bows deeply toward you. "Welcome to Cameral's Coins. How may I help you today?"
Kiara is just grinning at the fact there's another tabaxi in the room type of situation.
Well, dear sir, you might, I'm hoping, be of some service for us this afternoon. You don't by any chance have any safes in which to store coin and valuables?
"Yes, of course. Just a moment, please." And he goes in and he kind of pulls off this what looks to be like a catalog, a very simple catalog. "This is our catalog of safes. If you are a business owner in Waterdeep, I would highly suggest that you buy from us, Cameral's Coins. Now, this depends exactly how dangerous is this area which you wish to protect your valuables."
Well, if I told you it was Trollskull Alley, would that affect the style and recommendation on your part?
Trollskull Alley in the North Ward is very nice. Unfortunately, you seem to have a bit of a problem with fireballs. However, I would not worry too much. And he kind of opens up and is like, he just gracefully kind of opens up to a page. and kind of shows you a few. And I guess this would be the part as the DM that I would ask, what do you guys, the players, want? Do you just want a simple, straight up safe with a kind of keyed lock? Do you want to utilize a magical lock? Do you want the entire safe to be protected against magic? Exactly how protecty did you want to be on this?
I feel like Anna would want to be protecty as possible. She basically, her metric, and I think that she, sorry, my cat is, get out of there. Sorry. She would want, I think she would probably tell this to Kiara and Six on the way there, is that she doesn't want to be able to break into it. And if that, so probably the mundane might not be the best for her, in her eyes.
Given recent activities, as you have identified, indicating to the tabaxi, probably something that is fireproof, for one. I'm wondering, I like the idea of something that is perhaps magically protected.
Agreed, it couldn't hurt.
But also something that any one of us would be able to access through ordinary means. Or at least know the way to communicate that. I think we should all be able to have access to it.
Well, depending on your current financial state, if you wish to have a safe that will protect you from anything and everything, I would suggest this one. And he kind of opens it up. The Divine Protector. Because when it comes to your money, you should only allow divine intervention to be able to steal it. Now, this one is not cheap, but I can personally say that the amount of wards and the fact that this is not just made of steel, it is made of steel core with ribbons of mithril around it. So that way, not anyone can just cut into it, you see. So with mithril, steel, the locks, you will have access to as many keys as you wish. The keys are free, of course, that come with the safe. And there are many wards that protect against the most powerful of spells.
How much are we talking?
That safe is 4,500 gold pieces.
Well, while it does sound extremely impressive, do keep in mind we are just starting out with a new business, so perhaps something a little bit more...
Yes, of course. Right, this one is going to be, this one will run you 1,200 gold pieces. It is solid steel, the exact grade of steel that the Royal Guard uses for their swords and armor. You also gain access to a combination lock. It is a new type of a thing. You have a dial with a certain set of numbers, and you follow the code of the numbers. This prevents anyone from being able to pick your locks, and it does come with a couple of wards, namely against a knock spell, at least one time, and it also is fireproof.
Well, that certainly sounds a little bit more in line of what we had in mind. Would you mind giving us a moment, perhaps?
Of course. Oh, and I must ask, does anyone here collect coins?
Not...
Doesn't everyone?
No, but these are coins from far away, from places that you may not even have heard of.
Can't say that I've exactly had the time to jump into a new hobby, but it does sound interesting.
Of course, understood. And he kind of walks away.
So
Right.
Quite frankly, Anna, I'm going to go with what you feel is best, since you're the one who probably would understand these the most.
Well, I think a bit of wards would be fine. I don't think we need divine intervention as of yet. But yeah, I think a bit of magic, that combination lock, sounds pretty good, I think.
All right.
of course we have not heard the price of this one yet.
Didn't he say it was
Oh,
1,200?
Did he say the price?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not hear the price.
Were you perhaps a little taken by seeing one of your own?
Do you go all gaga every time you see one of your own?
I rarely see my own. So yes.
That is fair. Sorry, I didn't write it down. How much were those bars worth?
Isn't like 20.
250.
Yeah.
50 each.
Yeah. So you took 4 of them, I think.
6.
6. That's right. Yeah. 6 for 6. Yeah. So that basically pays.
That's what, 50?
5 of them. I was going to say 5 of them pay for it.
Yeah. Right. Well, what I got for you guys will be able to pay for it.
And you're making a sound investment in protecting your money.
Right. I say we do it.
All right, then. And Kiara will then sort of signal.
And Cameral comes back to you. Have you made a decision?
I do believe we have. The second choice sounds exactly like what we need at the moment.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that. And he kind of pulls out a pad and paper. Exactly where am I going to send this to? Unless you wish to take one right away.
We have some other errands to run this afternoon. I don't think hauling around a safe would exactly be conducive to that.
Well, that makes sense. It also weighs 800 pounds, so there is that.
That would be quite an issue then. Troll Skull mana, please.
And he kind of writes it down. Right, well, if I could see the money, please.
Did we bring it? I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming we did.
I can't
don't
imagine you would have left all that gold sitting in the living room.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you wanted like all that cash on your kitchen table.
I think it's safe to say we would have snagged that before walking out the door.
Yeah.
I think maybe Anna would have insisted on taking it, and you would see Anna kind of let out this big sigh, and she would reach into her pouch and she takes out 5 of these bars, and she's a little, her grip is a little bit, it's grasping these bars a bit hardly, so she's like putting it down.
And he does finally wrench it from you. And this is a sound investment. And he goes and he brings the trade bars in the back, and comes back out with 5 platinum pieces. Because if memory serves me correctly, it should be 1250. So gives you 5 platinum suns. And your change. And my thanks.
Where do we want to have this? I mean, if they're going to deliver it, where do we want it to be? We're going to keep it in the tavern, or we're going to keep it in?
Absolutely not in the tavern. There's too many people going in and out there.
I was thinking perhaps in And then I kind of look over at the tabaxi, like hesitant to say, and I guess we have to tell him where we are going to deliver it. Although maybe we just have him deliver it to the common room, and then we figure out where inside the building we want to.
Provided you can all pick it up.
I'm sure we can manage it once it's there. There are 4 of us.
All right. Well, then we'll just, for now, we'll aim for the common room tucked away from the entrance.
All right. As you relay the information, he writes it all down, and he says he'll deliver it by dinner time today. So as you guys all make your way back out, and you begin to head your way down to the stone house. You make your way down the high road, and you pass by a few places that you've been to, and not surprisingly, you see the stone house, this beautiful, same beautiful guild hall that you've passed before. As you pass by too, on God, I can never say this right. Telshambra Street. There we go. As you pass by a high road in Telshambra Street, looking to your right, you see the like a few other taverns. One notably, the Underdark, and you remember that interesting place that you still have not gone to. And you go to in front of the guild hall. And you actually see Micken standing outside, ready to kind of close up and lock up the guild hall. As he kind of turns around and, oh, hello again. The Nobody's Inn, right? Yes,
that is correct.
It's good to see you all again. How can I help you?
Well, we were hoping that we could perhaps avail you of your services for a bit of modification to the Nobody's Inn.
Right. Well, I mean, unfortunately, we were just closing up for the afternoon. They wanted to get this entire place ready for the parade tomorrow, but you know what? I'll tell you what. Hang on. And he grabs his key and unlocks it. Come on in.
Thank you very much. This should not take very much of your time.
Oh, not a bother at all. All right. So, you wish to make a modification. What type of modification would you like to make?
Well, you are... whoa. Thank you to Castle Mac for the raid. Castle Mac just raided with 13 viewers from the looks of it, and is hosting the channel. So, we know what that means. A raid is another one of what I'm now calling Mike's chagrin. Bumping us up to another domain dragon as I continue on. So you, Micken, having done the wonderful job that you did in the restoration and preparation of the Nobody's Inn, that space in the pantry between the bar and the kitchen.
Yes.
That southeast corner is directly below one of the rooms in our living quarters.
Hang on a second. And he goes back, and you see like this like large honeycombed area, and he kind of looks, and you see it kind of divided up: Castle Ward, Trade Ward, South Ward, North Ward. And he kind of looks into the North Ward. Right here it is. And he kind of opens up, and you see it's a floor plan of your place. Let's have a look here. Right. Well, so the pantry looks to be right below a spare room. You wish to make you want a staircase or something, or?
We were thinking maybe something a little more discreet, but like a sort of trapdoor that could be easily open to then drop down into, perhaps with a ladder or something. But to drop down into the pantry, or if we need to get up out of the tavern into the Nobody's Inn. Sort of a fire escape, if you will, a fire exit.
Right. Okay, I mean, I should be able to do that with hardly a problem. Just need to cut a hole in the floor. I'll have someone make a ladder for you. Set up a couple of hooks so the ladder can be hooked up, drop down, and then either unhooked from the top or brought up from the bottom. Something like that. Probably cost you about 200 gold. Maybe 3. The only problem is your cook's not going to like you very much because you're going to lose some space in your pantry, but shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I'm looking over to Anna and Kiara.
Anna's attention is not on the conversation, but drawn to that honeycomb shelving unit. She's just kind of, her attention is preoccupied.
Don't do it.
So,
Don't do it.
I'm not one to in any way challenge your workmanship, as you have done a wonderful job on the Nobody's Inn.
Much obliged.
But I do question the cost of a single trap door, costing nearly as much as what we paid for the entire remodeling of and restoration of the Nobody's Inn.
Well, what the plan is if you decide to do it as you wish to do it, what I need to do is to cut away, if there is carpet or if there is just hardwood, I need to cut it out, need to attach hinges, make sure I get everything lined up so it has a seamless point of entry, because you don't want anyone to accidentally see a trap door and then, come right up. After that, I would have to make sure I get a ladder that is the right size. I'd have to affix iron scuppers into the top so we can hook the ladder in safely so it doesn't just wobble itself out. Then need to seal everything up and hide it. You said you wanted discreet, so I'd probably have to make sure that it's properly hidden. So if anyone breaking into the manor part can't sneak into the tavern part.
Well, that all seems very fair, especially with the fact that we need this to be extremely discreet.
I do apologize for questioning you.
I didn't follow what you said.
Trust me.
Can you phrase it another way?
Whoa, hold on a second.
Customers.
Hold on. Cortana just interrupted. I'm fairly certain everybody just heard her, too.
No.
Not you guys, but the stream, because it comes through desktop audio.
Oh, no.
I don't know what I said to activate Cortana, but I just suddenly heard her say, "I'm sorry, I did not understand what you said." And I couldn't hear you guys.
Snoop.
For a second, I thought V was saying something.
No, it wasn't me.
I got to find out how to turn that off. But I'm fairly certain that Cortana's voice just went out to the stream.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Certainly nothing possibly could go wrong there.
So, yeah, sorry. I don't remember what I said. I think I said something about...
We know your workmanship is of the highest quality.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, 200 gold.
Where's Bevyn when you need him? Isn't Bevyn our treasurer?
Yeah, he is. So this isn't something we necessarily need to act on right away. It doesn't mean the price is going to shift upon us, is it?
No. You know, I can't stand people like that. So no. It's when you come back, we can revisit it again. But you're looking for an estimate. That's how much I would estimate it.
Well, I mean,
and it would take about 2 days.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That was quite informative.
Do you have any experience in the reinforcement of a second floor, or not so much a reinforcement, but perhaps, let's say we wanted to conceal something else, like a building to a bookshelf or something, to conceal a safe.
Oh, I mean,
I looked at Kiara and Anna. I mean, I'm assuming we don't want to keep this thing out in the open.
It wouldn't exactly be wise just to have it sitting somewhere saying, "Open me, please."
I was thinking it would be pretty interesting to put it in the library and make it a part of the bookshelves.
Then we definitely need to make sure we discuss this with Bevyn, because that's rather become his room.
I don't think Bevyn will have an argument about it.
No, but he might want say as to where exactly he wants it to go.
Bevyn can be quite particular about the weirdest things.
But, another estimate for that certainly wouldn't hurt, so we know how much to start budgeting for.
Well, perhaps when you can come by and you can see the safe that we have, because of course you're going to need to see that. It's just a way to say, hey, we really appreciate the work you do, and since we're already having you come to do something, maybe we have you do something else. I'm really trying to kind of butter him up after hopefully possibly insulting him by questioning his price.
We're also speaking with the nobles about possibly using the Nobody's Inn for their event, and I am sure when they see the quality of what it is you're able to do, especially for this concealment factor.
Sure. I mean, I've done some things for a noble house or two in my time, but I have no problem with coming down and having a look. Right? Yeah. No, I think it's. I think it might be totally fine. But if there's nothing else, I do need to close up. Got to pick up supper on the way home.
Of course, and tell your little one hello, please.
I will.
Well, thank you very much, and a fine day to you.
And you. And he kind of begins to kind of push you guys out. He's already rolled up and put the Nobody's in. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, when you're literally the last customer
who comes in
in a retail, and it's like we're 5 minutes from closing. Oh, you want to peruse? Great.
Go away.
Yeah, exactly. And so you are back on the street. Micken locks up and is on his way.
When we're a bit from earshot from Micken going down the road, Anna's going to quickly kind of turn around towards you guys and start walking backwards. Did you guys see that? The shelving.
Yes, rather organized and quite interesting.
It
Very.
it looked like a honeycomb.
Very organized. They add a... Could you imagine what else they'd have in there? Perhaps a certain manor?
Other than our own?
Right?
Let's stick a pin in this one and first maybe get over to the temple and work a couple things out for you first.
So you want to have? Are you saying you want to have make us some of those honeycomb shelves?
Not exactly 6.
Don't you think it would have the Growlon manor in there?
I'm sorry,
Well-
I'm not following.
Well, perhaps as we're figuring out where exactly to put the safe, maybe see if we can figure out who exactly he's built things for in the past.
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Well,
Six clearly has no idea what you're talking about.
You heard that stuffy, whatever his name was, master of the guild or whatever. He was saying if you don't work through the guild, that's bad, right?
Right.
And Micken would have those
You would have a
layouts.
wealth of information, yes.
I think that Anna's trying to spell this out for Six.
Possibly using hand puppet.
Yeah. Just staring at him, just
So
right.
it's very much one of those like Joey on Friends moments where it takes him a little bit longer to understand, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, the floor plans."
Right.
Welcome to the conversation.
Because he had our floor plans.
He might
You
have
think-
others.
Oh, so maybe he has the floor plans for the Growlhund.
Kiara is just going to be looking at Anna at this point, trying not to start cracking up.
Anna just looks so exasperated. How are you alive for this long?
Me?
Just because I don't understand every little nefarious thing that you are planning. I have made most of my living above the boards.
Oh. Wow. I didn't realize such people who live so legally are just so dense.
It can get tedious at times, yes.
Right. Well, something to keep in mind, right? You were saying you wanted a way in. This might help us out. Or at least let us know if there's something we need to check out. Right.
So how are you intending to get these plans?
Well,
I do love a parade.
right.
Very loud ones.
Kiara is a much better thief than you are, Six. I'm sorry to say.
I am not perhaps the greatest at devising these methods by which you do these things, but the actual acts of pilfering and cat burglary, I think I am. I have some of the necessary attributes. I look over at Kiara. That was not a tabaxi pun.
Of course it wasn't. It flew right over my head.
Right, so just something to think about. for the parade tomorrow.
I'm just
And she kinda
curious.
Looks
Anna.
to Kiara.
I'm just curious, Anna. Is there any place that we go into that you do not immediately assess a way in which you can steal from it?
You just ask her if she breathes oxygen, essentially.
What would be the point of that? Why would you need to go into a place? It makes no sense.
I just picture this as our conversation kind of fading out as we're walking down the street.
Yeah, and as you kind of walk, you make your way. Excuse me. You make your way down toward the Tower of Luck. Now, the main thing is, what I'd like to know: how exactly are you getting to the Tower of Luck?
Skirting around the Castle Lantern area.
Okay, so as I'm looking at it, if you took, if you want to go the long way, it's going to take you a little bit.
Like you go up and
you could technically like go the high road, cut down Jelthun Street, like around the Sea Ward, and if you wanted to take like the wall all the way up, you could take it up to like Grimwald's and then over to the Tower of Luck that way. Yeah, you could go that way.
the Kiara would probably just be doing that knowingly and purposely and just hoping that they don't ask why we're going the more scenic route.
Sure. Would any of you two object or question or?
Having not been here, I probably wouldn't question how we're getting there.
I think Anna would say something because she knows the streets pretty well. So I'm just trying to think of what she would say. Wait, why are we going this way? It's much quicker to go. And she kind of points. I think as soon as Kiara begins to veer off.
That way gave me a headache last time.
Don't like. Oh. And she just kind of shrugs. All right.
All right. So as you make your way, you come to the doors. You see that the doors are still open. People are walking in and out. As you kind of walk up to the door, you see that same halfling woman, Kiara. Except she's standing in the front of the door and she looks at you and it seems like she looks sad or disappointed.
I don't suppose a penny for your thoughts.
And she doesn't say anything. But she does kind of reach out and kind of touch your hand. And she kind of pulls up the sleeve of your shirt or sweater or whatever you're wearing. And you see now that there's a tiny cut. Something like so small that you would not have noticed. And she looks at you and says, "They have your blood now." And she turns around, and you see the doors of the temple close. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Has Kiara's luck run out?
Ooh,
What has Bevyn been up to?
Oh, don't worry. I've got horrible things planned for Bevyn.
Tune in next week.
Next time on All That Glitters.
Should get Connor to do the.
Oh my gosh,
announcement.
Connor does such a great sort of that like 40s, 30s, 40s kind of announcer voice.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe me, head over to Dice on Ice and check out the ads for the. Remind me again, Megan, because I forget
Mission
it
99.
For Mission 99. Yes, the retro
Yep.
future game, Harbinger game that we played. That was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
I like these kind of sessions, Mike. These kind of low key, in between when you have a harrowing fight in the last game that we played.
Yeah.
To have kind of a low key, I mean, a lot of the stuff we did tonight, you can easily hand wave, but you give us a chance to interact. I mean, if you hand waved it, then Anna and Kiara never would have seen the stockpile of building plans.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Yeah, I love I love playing through this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because like there's certain things that I will hand wave, like, hey, I want to get a potion. Okay. And I would probably quickly go through it. Or, hey, I need to, I want to clean my armor. Then we're not going to role play that out. You clean your armor. It's shiny. But I mean, I think for certain things like that, where especially when you want to shop and you definitely want to expand on the Nobody's Inn to make it more your own. And that's something that I'll like, let's role play this out and let's make an actual plan as to what you want to do. But yeah, I agree. I mean, same thing with the safe. It's a little thing, like how much of a safe do you want to get, And plus, you only saw a picture of it, so you guys don't even know the size of the thing you're getting.
Well, I don't know if you saw the comment I posted in the chat. I posted it on the Twitch chat too, but when I questioned Micken about the cost, and you started going into everything that was involved, and I said, when your DM works in construction.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I love that.
I like it's little things. It's little things. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up. Thanks to Castle Mac, who came in with a bunch of folks. It's really, really nice of you. Thank you so much. We hope to see as many folks around next Monday, if at all possible. We're having a blast with our Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign. I know Castle Mac's doing an amazing campaign as well that you should also check out. And I'm just not gonna say too much other than can you put your bit on the end, or your info, Jake? Because if you want to catch up with this current campaign, it is on Jake's Mini Terrain Domain YouTube channel. You can check out the All That Glitters campaign. So I mean, definitely have a look if you want.
Yep,
and
links are right there in the Twitch chat for the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitch, and the Twitters. All previous 14 episodes of All That Glitters, along with other campaigns that we run here on Mini Terrain Domain, including Tilt of Personality, the Forge of Fury, numerous one-shots, and crafting videos. Speaking of Castle Mac Steven joined us for a special alternate universe, what was I calling that? Side quest adventure, where he got to play Meepo, a beloved NPC character from the Sunless Citadel. So it was pretty awesome having him joining us for that. We're big fans of the Castle Mac crew over here. There's a lot of love between the channels. So, but also be sure to check out all three of these guys, as well as Dwight, even though he's not here. The Big Bearded Nerd. Check out everybody's Twitters at the very least to keep up with what they're doing. But everybody here has YouTube channels and Twitter and things like that where we do various things. And yeah, we really appreciate everybody stopping by. Glad to be playing this game again. And I will say, because we didn't get to do it last week, the plan is that if something comes up and we can't run the regular game, usually if the DM can't make it, or if we are down more than one player, we might decide to do something different. I have a ready to go side quest adventure for Waterdeep. I teased to a couple of them, I think to Megan and V in our Thursday game, that I won't say anything about it except that I'm sure that whoever gets to play it will have a lot of fun with the I forget what her name was. Oh my gosh, what did I say her name was? Oh, Madame or was it the Lady Femme, Madame Femme de la D, a very uppity noble in Waterdeep. So somebody that Anna can try to steal from, I'm sure.
Sure are a lot of uppity nobles.
There sure are. We need to get down into the slums.
You've met some cool nobles too.
That is true.
Yeah, you know,
right
House
now, some of my
House
favorite
Fyland
people are some of my favorite people so far are Embrick and
Avi.
I don't know why, but I just took a liking to them right off the bat.
I feel so bad that Anna was such a jerk to them.
Yeah, I know. But I'm like, you know, it's fine. They can give it as much as they can take it, and take a lot.
All right, well, thank you, Mike, for once again for running this and running such an epic campaign. We do greatly appreciate it. As Mike said, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight or who was tuning in later on YouTube watching the VODs. Thank you to V, Dwight, and Megan for participating. Thank you to me for hosting. Why not? So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. We're going to end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.